Welcome back, Stylistas. As you might know by now, I'm Zara, Gail's virtual assistant, and we're here again for another episode of Style Drops. Gail has built her entire career on being someone that intuitively chosen style over design protocol. She is completely aware of the design principles, and there, not ignored, more like peppered in, was discernment. But just like any good design disruptor who questions everything the industry tells us that you're supposed to do, she absolutely doesn't follow trends as a mission, but will review and dissect them. But for many, she usually sends them packing with a polite, thanks but no thanks. Being a disruptor, you have to know the difference between breaking rules that deserve to be broken versus just making bad choices with confidence. There's rebellious, and then there's delusional. So let's talk about some aspects of design that would never be a choice for her. These aren't bold moves. They're more like design distractions masquerading as style. But Gail is also aware that you can lead your client to a certain direction, but you can't make them buy. If they insist, they insist. The first one is plain Roman shades. Roman shades are fine, truly. But plain ones? They're the fabric equivalent of beige sheets in our windows, and calling it window treatments. There's no texture, no personality, just sad fabric rectangles that couldn't commit to being interesting. If your idea of window treatment's entire personality is, I selected them for coverage only, maybe we need to have a conversation about more effort. Plain and simple, it looks like muslin fabric. When you know, and you can't unsee it. Her preferred choice is woven shades. Next on Gail's no bueno list is tables for nightstands. This choice of nightstands that are all legs so spindly that they create a look as though the top is afraid to touch the floor, or even worse yet, the kind of nightstands that are mounted on the wall. To Gail, this is a classic form meets function issue. Sure, they look clean and minimal in photos. But in real life, you've created a major cord clutter regret. In other words, when you step back, all you see is cords from the lamp and phone charger and whatever else you have going on that needs to be plugged in. That is not a great finishing touch to a space. The best direction, nightstands with a solid base to the floor, or at least 5 to 6 inches above the floor, no more. Number 3 on her list of things Gail would never use in her designs is white duvets, or duvets with no cover. In general, white duvets are the interior design equivalent of wearing white pants to a spaghetti dinner. Aspirational but wildly impractical. Yes, they photograph beautifully. Yes, they look crisp and hotel-like. But unless you have a full-time laundry staff, and let's be real, you don't, that white duvet is going to spend its life looking vaguely dingy, or living in the washing machine. Life is too short to be precious about your bedding. For duvets, even in all neutral rooms, think texture and weaves, subtle color tones, something that can handle actual human use. Number 4 on her do not apply list is black tile. Someone on the internet convinced everyone that black tile is dramatic and moody. What they forgot to mention is that it's also a showcase for every single water spot, soap residue, and mineral deposit that dares to exist in your home. Black tile, even tile with super deep color saturation, doesn't make your shower look like a luxe spa. It makes it look like there's always a slight haze on the tile waiting to be scrubbed off. Are those water spots, grout haze, mildew, who knows? The maintenance to style ratio here is completely out of balance. Okay, moving on to number 5 on Gail's she will never use list, it is mirrored anything. Mirrored elements are a complete style killer. Even worse yet, an entire wall of mirrors. Let's just file that under just plain ugly. Even mirrored console tables seem to multiply visual clutter rather than reduce it. Mirrored furniture shows every fingerprint and smudge like it's keeping receipts. These materials aren't sophisticated. They're ways to cut costs, but really you're cutting style. Another very builder-grade element that Gail finds to be a huge style fail are mirrored closet doors. But a good remedy for sliding doors is applying self-adhesive grasscloth contact paper to help cut the intensity of all that mirrored glass. Let's move on to number 6 on the list of elements Gail doesn't use in her designs. Now this might be one that many will not be able to relate to, and that is white paint. Yes, the one paint color that is so overused and basic in every real estate listing since the dawn of time. Tried and true, right? Look, Style Drops completely understands the appeal of white walls. They're safe, they're clean, they go with everything. But white paint has become the default setting for people who are afraid to have an opinion. It's not that white is bad. It's that using white because you're scared of color is boring. Though not to be completely contradictory, white walls will always be a superior choice for ultramodern spaces that want a high-end editorial look, like an art gallery vibe. As a designer, Gail will always select a warmer color base for the walls. Let's move on to number 7 in Gail's never-used design selections for interiors, and that is bright abstract rugs. Basically, for one reason, they look like they're trying too hard to be the statement piece that they end up being the only thing you can look at in the entire room. A rug should anchor a space, not assault it. If your rug is screaming louder than everything else in the room combined, it's not making a statement, it's making a scene. Next up on the list is glass blocks. Yes, you heard me right, it's back. Apparently glass blocks are having a moment again. Why? Who asked for this? Glass blocks was a bad idea in the 80s, and it hasn't improved with age like a fine wine. It's aged like milk. It's not retro cool. It's not nostalgic chic. It's just a reminder that some trends should stay in their era, where they belong, never to return. It will be a hard pass for Gail no matter the styling. Number 9 on her list is highly commercial abstract art. You know exactly which pieces I'm talking about. 3 brushstrokes, no soul. Available in grey, beige, or that one shade of blue-green that's been in every furniture showroom since 2015. Mass-produced abstract art that was created by an algorithm and a focus group, designed to offend absolutely no one, while also inspiring absolutely nothing. Art should move you, challenge you, make you feel something, even if that something is that you don't understand a particular piece. But mass-produced art would never be a desired selection for any spaces that Gail creates. Commercial abstract art's only goal is to fill a wall without making waves. Hard pass. And for the last element on her list, themed or one-note rooms. If your space screams beach house, French countryside cottage, or a Tuscan villa, you're trying too hard to create a vibe. Themed styling is what happens when people confuse having a point of view with committing to a bit. You can love coastal style without making every room look like it's auditioning for a nautical catalogue. You can appreciate rustic elements without turning your living room into a barn. Pick a lane, sure. Then add 17 other lanes for complexity and interest. Matching bedroom sets, or matching living room collections. Everything from the same place, arranged exactly as shown in the showroom. This isn't a cohesive design. This is giving up before you started. Matching sets are for people who think personality is a liability, and that playing it safe is the same as having taste. Real style comes from layering different periods, different textures, different stories. If everything matches, nothing matters. Gail believes in being a design disruptor. She believes in breaking rules, challenging conventions, and creating spaces that feel authentic, rather than algorithm approved. But these so-called trends, these aren't disruptions, they're distractions. They're noise masquerading as style. Shortcuts pretending to be sophisticated. Real design disruption means having the courage to make intentional choices, even when they're not what everyone else is doing. It means understanding the rules well enough to know which ones deserve to be broken, and which ones exist for good reason. It means creating spaces with soul, personality, and a point of view, not just filling rooms with whatever the internet is currently pretending is revolutionary. So yes, she is a dark horse and a rule breaker. But she is also someone who believes that true style requires more than just following the next shiny trend off a cliff. These design distractions will dwindle out. Until next time, stylistas. Please help us get this new channel out there with a quick like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Gail would love to hear from you.